Most people hit the gym chasing abs or a pump they can flex in the mirror. Nothing wrong with that. But let's be honest, when life actually gets tough, flexing won't save you. You need strength that works, strength that carries you through pain, through pressure, through anything life throws your way. That's why today we're going straight into 5 military-style exercises that build the kind of power most guys never touch. No machines, no gimmicks, just raw, functional strength. The kind that makes you unstoppable inside and outside the gym. Stick around until the last one, because if you can push through all 5, you'll already be ahead of 99% of people who train but never actually test themselves. All right, before we dive in, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your name in the comments. Tell me how long you've been training. I want to see who's in the grind with us. Exercise 1, box jumps. When it comes to explosive conditioning, few movements deliver like the box jump. At first glance, it seems simple. Jump onto a raised surface and land. But anyone who's tried it knows box jumps are far more than a casual drill. They're a full-body demand for speed, power, balance, and courage, all compressed into one movement. Think about it. Every time you launch yourself upward, your legs have to generate raw, instant force. Your quads, glutes, hamstrings, and calves fire like cannons, while your core braces tight to control your body mid-air and stabilize your landing. It's not just strength, it's athletic coordination, teaching your muscles and nervous system to move together in perfect timing. That kind of explosive readiness doesn't just stay in the gym, it carries over to sprinting faster, reacting quicker, and powering through obstacles in everyday life. But here's the part most people overlook. Box jumps aren't only physical, they're deeply mental. The second you stand in front of that box, a voice creeps in. What if I miss? What if I don't make it? That hesitation is the real enemy. To succeed, you have to commit fully, trust your body, and attack the jump without holding back. In that moment, the box becomes more than wood or metal. It's a test of confidence, a challenge to override fear and doubt. Each successful jump isn't just a win for your muscles, it's a win for your mindset. The benefits compound fast. Repeated box jumps push your heart rate sky high, forcing your lungs and cardiovascular system to adapt under pressure. And let's not ignore stamina. Do a few jumps and you'll feel powerful. Do them for rounds and you'll feel your legs burn, your breath shorten, and your body begging you to stop. This is where the real magic happens, because if you push through, you're not just building stronger legs, you're building resilience. So when you face that box, don't treat it like a casual exercise, treat it like a proving ground. Every leap is a statement that you have the strength, the focus, and the willpower to rise above the challenge. Exercise 2, battle ropes. If box jumps are all about explosive power, battle ropes are about one thing: endurance under fire. This is the exercise that teaches your body how to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. Because let's be honest, strength alone isn't enough. What really matters is the ability to keep generating force when your muscles are burning and your lungs are begging you to stop. That's what battle ropes train better than almost anything else. Once you grab those ropes and start slamming, whipping, or spiraling them, you realize quickly this isn't just an arm workout. Every violent wave you send down the rope lights up your shoulders, chest, and back, while your core and legs are working overtime just to keep you balanced. It's chaos, but it's controlled chaos. That's the magic of this drill. It forces your whole body to work as one, even when you're tired. And here's why it's so effective. Battle ropes push you into what's called high-intensity metabolic conditioning. Your heart rate spikes, your muscles flood with fatigue, and yet you still have to keep moving. It feels like sprinting with your upper body, but with your core, your grip, and your mind all locked into the fight. This kind of training doesn't just build strength, it builds resilience. It teaches you how to stay explosive and sharp when you're drained. Picture yourself a few rounds in, sweat pouring, arms on fire, breath ragged. Every slam feels heavier than the last. Most people would drop the ropes and walk away. But if you keep going, that's where the real transformation happens. That's where you build toughness most workouts never touch. That's the beauty of battle ropes. They're simple, just two heavy ropes on the floor. But the way they push you, mentally and physically, makes them one of the most brutal and rewarding tools in training. You don't just walk away stronger, you walk away knowing you can push through far more than you thought. So when you pick up those ropes, don't treat it like a casual finisher, treat it like a test. Slam with purpose, wave with control, and push past the point where you'd normally quit. Exercise 3. Mountain climbers. Mountain climbers are one of the most complete bodyweight movements in the military arsenal. And it's no coincidence they're drilled into soldiers, special forces, and elite athletes worldwide. Imagine yourself advancing uphill under fire, every limb driving with urgency, yet your body remains locked in place. That's the essence of this movement. It's relentless, fast-paced, and merciless, demanding total body engagement in a single fluid sequence. Soldiers don't train mountain climbers for aesthetics. They train them for survival, for explosive readiness, and for the ability to sustain power under fatigue. At the heart of this exercise lies its ability to forge a rock-solid core. Every rep pounds your abdominals, obliques, and lower back into submission, building the stability and protection that warriors rely on in combat. But it doesn't stop there. Each driving knee calls your quads, hamstrings, and glutes into action, building lower body power and endurance. Meanwhile, your shoulders, chest, and arms are locked into the plank position, forced to stabilize against gravity and momentum. The result is simple. Mountain climbers construct your body into an unbreakable unit, a suit of armor that moves as one. To perform this exercise, start in a high plank with your hands firmly planted beneath your shoulders and your body aligned from head to heels. Keep your core braced tight, as if pulling your navel toward your spine, and drive one knee toward your chest with controlled force. Without hesitation, switch to the other leg, maintaining a relentless rhythm that mimics sprinting on the ground. The key isn't reckless speed, but controlled intensity. Each rep must be deliberate, each movement sharp, each breath steady. Exhale as your knee drives forward, inhale as it returns. When performed correctly, your abs will ignite like fire, your shoulders will tremble under the strain, and your lungs will feel the pressure of battle-tested conditioning. Of course, the battlefield doesn't tolerate weakness, and neither does this exercise. Many fail by letting their hips shoot up, creating a triangle shape that kills the core engagement. Others allow the lower back to sag, exposing it to unnecessary strain and robbing the exercise of its power. Still others rush through reps, trading quality for speed and ending up with nothing but sloppy fatigue. The rule here is simple: precision before pace. A soldier doesn't sprint until they've mastered the march, and neither should you. Exercise 4. Burpees. If there's one movement that soldiers both dread and respect, it's the burpee. Among the toughest drills in the military arsenal, this exercise is infamous not only for its physical brutality, but also for what it symbolizes: resilience. Special Forces instructors often call it a separator, the drill that exposes weakness, dividing those who quit at the first sign of exhaustion from those who can keep driving forward no matter the pain. Every rep is a test of grit, forcing you to confront fatigue head-on and proving that survival on the battlefield and in training belongs to the relentless. Burpees are the purest form of a total body assault. The initial squat ignites your quads, hamstrings, and glutes as you drop low. In an instant, your legs shoot back into a plank, forcing your core to lock down like armor, stabilizing the spine under pressure. Then comes the push-up, a surge of strength through the chest, shoulders, and triceps. Finally, you snap forward and explode into a vertical leap, every muscle chain firing to drive your body skyward. There's no wasted motion, no weak link. From head to toe, every fiber is engaged. It's nearly impossible to find a muscle that escapes the demand of a properly executed burpee. But the true power of this drill goes far beyond muscle. Burpees forge combat readiness. In real warfare, the ability to hit the ground, recover instantly, and spring back on your feet can mean the difference between life and death. The movement mirrors that survival reflex. Down, up, repeat, even under exhaustion, even when your lungs are screaming. On top of that, burpees are an unparalleled conditioning tool, spiking oxygen consumption, pushing your cardiovascular capacity to the edge, and forging muscular endurance that holds up under the harshest stress. To execute the burpee with precision, stand tall with your feet shoulder-width apart and drop quickly into a squat, planting your hands firmly on the ground. From there, launch your legs back into a high plank and lower into a strict push-up, chest touching the ground. Snap your feet forward into the squat position, then explode upward in a full-body jump, arms stretched overhead. The entire sequence should feel seamless, like responding instantly to a battlefield command. There's no room for hesitation, no sloppy pauses. Each rep is a fast, controlled cycle of survival. Of course, this drill punishes poor form mercilessly. Many collapse or arch their backs during the plank phase, exposing themselves to strain. Others cheat the push-up, failing to lower their chest fully or cut the final jump short, robbing the exercise of its explosive payoff. And perhaps the biggest mistake of all is letting fatigue break discipline halfway through a set. Burpees are unforgiving, but that's exactly why they build warriors. For programming, start with 5 sets of 8 clean burpees, resting 90 seconds between bouts. As your conditioning improves, push for higher reps and reduce the rest until each set feels like a sprint with your entire body. Exercise 5, sit-ups. Now let's close this out with one of the oldest, most iconic moves in the military fitness playbook, the sit-up. For decades, sit-ups have been a rite of passage for soldiers, sailors, and Marines around the world. You've probably seen the classic image, rows of recruits lined up on the training field, partners holding down each other's feet as they crank out rep after rep until their abs are on fire. It's not just tradition, it's discipline, grit, and resilience carved into your core one repetition at a time. Sit-ups might look simple, but don't underestimate them. When you drop to the ground and lock into position, you're not just working your abs, you're building midline stability, strengthening your hip flexors, and reinforcing the muscular endurance that soldiers rely on during long marches, heavy gear hauls, and endless hours on their feet. Think about it. If your core isn't solid, everything else collapses. Your punches lose power, your posture breaks down, and your stamina fades faster. A strong core, built through fundamentals like sit-ups, is the foundation of real-world strength. Now here's the key. Form matters. Plant your feet firmly, cross your arms or lace your hands lightly behind your head without pulling on your neck, and drive your chest forward as you lift. Don't just yank yourself up with momentum. Instead, imagine your abs firing like a tight spring.
Pulling your torso upward with control. Lower yourself slowly too, because the descent is just as important as the climb. That's how you train your muscles to endure, rep after rep. In the military, sit-ups aren't just about muscle, they're about mental toughness. When you're on your 30th rep, sweat dripping down your face, and everything in you is screaming to quit, that's when you're really being tested. That's the battle within. And pushing through that wall, digging for one more rep when it feels impossible, that's the kind of discipline that sets apart warriors from the rest. So don't dismiss sit-ups as outdated. They've stood the test of time for a reason. They build not just a six-pack, but the kind of rugged core strength that helps you lift, sprint, fight, and endure. Every rep is a reminder. Strength starts at the center, and without it, you're already defeated. Bonus: kettlebell swings. If you've ever wondered why military training produces such explosive, durable strength, look no further than the kettlebell swing. This isn't just about lifting weight, it's about generating raw, battlefield-ready power. With every swing, you're building a rock-solid posterior chain, the glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. The exact muscles that keep a soldier strong under heavy packs, fast on their feet, and unshakable in close combat. But here's the key. Kettlebell swings aren't just strength training, they're conditioning in disguise. Every rep lights up your lungs, pushes your heart rate sky high, and forges that never-quit stamina soldiers are known for. It's the type of exercise that doesn't just prepare you to fight hard, it prepares you to keep fighting when everyone else is gassed out. Grip the kettlebell tight, hinge at the hips, and drive it upward with explosive force, not with your arms, but with pure hip power. When you get it right, the kettlebell feels weightless, like an extension of your body, and your core locks down like armor. That's the kind of functional total body strength that carries over to every aspect of life, whether you're in the gym, on the battlefield, or just powering through the challenges of everyday living. Kettlebell swings are more than an exercise. They're a test of grit, power, and endurance, and when you master them, you'll move like a soldier ready for anything. You've just pushed through some of the toughest military-inspired drills, and that alone sets you apart from the average person. But remember, this is only the beginning. Real strength isn't built in a single workout. It's carved day after day, choice after choice, rep after rep. The question is, will you keep showing up when it gets hard? Because that's where the real transformation begins, not just in your body, but in your mind and spirit. If you're ready to keep leveling up, then subscribe to the channel and stay with us. The next challenge will test you in ways you didn't think possible, and when it drops, you'll want to be the first to take it on. So, take a breath, stand tall, and carry this momentum forward. You're not just training for today, you're preparing for the battles of tomorrow.